Okay, so let's thank Vijay Ashok for this nice talk, and we will move on to the next speaker, Semanti Datta.
Hi,
Yeah,
I'm sharing my screen.
yeah. Can you share the screen?
Can you see my screen?
Sorry, I think I. Oh, yeah. So
Yes.
bulk cage.
Okay, so am I audible properly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So you're a postdoc or a
I'm student, graduate
student?
student.
Yeah, you're a graduate student working with Bala Satyapalan.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
You can start now. You get about half an hour.
Okay. So hi everyone. Today's topic. My topic of the talk is bulk gauge field from boundary safety using exact denomination group. So this is a work done with Bala Satyapalan and Pavan Dharani Pragada. We all are from IMSC Chennai. So first I will motivate come to motivation part. So ADS-CFT correspondence gives a dual. Also suggests that the scale of boundary can be interpreted as time direction in the bulk. So although this ADS-CFT correspondence gives a definite conjecture like a partition function in two sides is equal, but still if one try to with some boundary conditions, if we want someone try to calculate the classical action, that means IR regularization, and that can be related to boundary RG transformation. So this nomenclature is called, this is comes under nomenclature of holographic RG. So it is useful to understand the precise connection between holographic RG and RG of boundary CFT. So can we obtain the holographic RG equation starting from the boundary RG equations without invoking ADS-CFT conjecture? If so, then it will give further insight into this correspondence. Okay, so with this motivation, I would like to point out to some literature of the holographic RGs. So first idea of holographic RG was given by E.T. Akhmedov in 1998, where classical equation of motion of Sugrab was, he told that can be interpreted as RG on SOIM side. Then there are a series of works after that. One is Bala Subramaniam Krauss in 1999, where they found gravity action with IR cutoff, and they also raised this question whether bulk equation, field equation can be obtained from CFT side. So then there is Boyer Varlinde in 2000, where they also have written classical equation of motion in terms of Kallen-Szymanski equation. They also pointed out a similarity between Hamilton-Jacobi and Polchinski equation. Then there is a series of papers of Skendries. So here I mentioned only one. So we have a lot of papers. Then Harrow, Skendries, and Solodukin in 2000, where they did IR regulation of an Olsen bulk action, and they calculated holographic stress energy tensor and the related conformal properties. So there is one important paper by Polchinski and Hemschirk in 2011, where they asked the question which radial cutoff in bulk correspond to boundary cutoff. And they also interpreted Wilson action, bulk Wilson action in terms of integral transformation of boundary action. Then there is a Faulkner Rangaman in 2011. They have interpreted Hamilton-Jacobi. They have found Hamilton-Jacobi equation for boundary and Wilson action. Then Lizana Morris and Victoria in 2016. They have found Wilson and RG on both sides, and they matched beta function, 3-point function, etc. Then Sansik Lee in 2010 and 11, he also derived a bulk dual from Wilsonian RG of matrix model. And Melo Santos in 2020 deriving bulk dual, applying local RG on BFSS model. And yesterday also we had a talk of Rajesh Gopakumar. He with his collaborators have done direct proof of equivalence of bulk string theory and boundary CFT in some cases. And there are many more works and there are several in these papers. Okay, so first I will start with the idea of holographic RG. To that, to understand that, it's best to look at ADS spacing Poincare patch. So if you fix the Z, Z looks like a lattice spacing of the boundary theory. So one can speculate that change in Z is scale change of the boundary theory. And then in bulk, you can write, then another input is in bulk, you can write bulk action in terms of purely bulk term and one boundary term. Okay, so Z is equal to 0 is a boundary for Poincare patch, and this is a boundary term where epsilon tends to 0. And also in boundary, I effective is a Wilson action. We will see these things later. So this is effectively like we are changing the scale in the boundary and we are getting effective action. So what in holographic renormalization, what people do is they interpret SP as a boundary state where 0 to epsilon Z has been integrated out. So in this paper of Faulkner, Liu, Rangamani, they have shown that delta SP delta epsilon gives Hamiltonian of radial evolution. And also this gives a Hamilton-Jacobi equation in the bulk. So this is one kind of statement of holographic RG. So our statement will be on the other side. We will try to give a holographic RG statement from RG of the boundary. Okay. Okay, so that question I have written here, that can one obtain holographic RG equation directly starting from RG of the boundary theory. So it's better to tell it is holographic RG also, or one can take this is holographic form of ERG, something like that also. Important is we are not invoking any ADS-CFT conjecture. Okay, and in this purpose we choose exact renormalization group because concept of scale is natural in this scheme. Okay, now I will just brush up some ideas of ERG. So ERG is like renormalization group evolution is no more to be seen as in old days of removing infinities and by adding counter terms in Lagrangian. Rather, it is seen as a process of changing scale. It's a changing of scale from lambda 1 to lambda 2, wherein integrating out the higher energy modes. But whenever you are integrate out high energy modes, you pay a cost for that. So in the effective action, there will be a lot of irrelevant terms, like negative mass dimension terms will come. Like for example, in phi-4 theory, in effective action, it will have phi-8, phi-10, or phi-6, all kind of terms, whichever is consistent with the symmetry of the theory. So in ERG, what happens is why the name ERG comes, the suppressing of these high energy modes is done with analytic cutoff function. So for that, result of that is new correlator. What is the low energy correlator can always give back the old correlator. So that is no loss of information. In that sense, it is called exact. So these are the qualitative statements about ERG. So whatever I have told qualitatively, I will tell in this slide. Mathematically, we are considering a bare action. Okay, we are considering a bare action. You can see that this is the Gaussian term and this is interaction term. So you can see that we have choose K in such a way that if P is slightly greater than lambda, it dies out very fast. And if it is less than lambda naught, then it becomes 1. That means effectively this is a theory which is where all the momentum which is greater than lambda is suppressed out. So what people do is they just decompose phi in terms of phi L plus phi H, and you integrate out phi H, and then we can write a partition function in terms of effective action at phi L and at this function integral over the phi L, where this is the complicated action I was talking about. So this is given by this. So all the complicated part is contained in this direction, but this term, and this is the part you can see that now this has changed to k to the power p by lambda. So it's a theory of scale lambda now. Now the next question one people do is they find how S lambda is changing with lambda. So T is defined as L in lambda, and that is given by Polchinski equation. Okay, that is given by the Polchinski equation, which is of this form. So take away from these slides will be, this is the form of in the last letter of the rest of the talk. So to derive vector, before we consider a simplest case, derivation of ADS-free scalar action from boundary CFT using ERG. So that is essentially a three-step procedure. So write a Polchinski ERG equation for d-dimensional boundary theory, write evolution operator for ERG equation as a functional integral over a d plus one dimensional theory. So as you have seen, now we started with boundary theory. Now we have an extra thing, T, like Ln lambda. So that will be a extra dimension here. And then okay. So from that evolution operator, we will do some field redefinition to map that d plus one dimensional field theory to our d plus one dimensional ADS space. So this is the three step. These are the three steps will apply everywhere in the talk. Yeah. So now, okay. Now we will write. Okay. So suppose we consider this part of Gaussian action. So it is of this form. This is Gaussian part, and this SI is the perturbation. And then Polchinski equation, one can write in this form. So here we want to comment one thing. So Polchinski equation or ERG equation, better we tell, if it will depend on the form of SI. If it will change on there will be extra term if you consider different kind of SI. But if you choose SI, just means if your Polchinski equation is of this form for SI, then it should give you the ADS free action. Okay, now we will see that if you look at this equation, it looks like a Schrodinger equation. So you can find the evolution operator for this equation. So that is given by this expression. And then using the usual functional integral thing, you can write psi pi I ti in terms of phi f tf, where phi n and ti are the boundary conditions, and we are summing over all initial conditions. So this is important step for us. This we can tell that this is a holographic form of ERG. Like we told that how this SB is changing with respect to epsilon. That is given by Hamilton-Jacobi equation. So those are all bulk statements. Here we are giving an equivalent statement of holographic ERG, but everything has run from the boundary theory. But and also we can detect this as Hamilton of radial evolution, which will be a d plus one dimensional field theory. So, but that okay. Yeah. So step 3 will be consider this radial evolution action, and you do following 3 things. One is do this field redefinition, then do this change of variables, and choose AF to satisfy following constant. If we do this, we get a free scalar radius action. Okay, now how to change the M? We are choose the M. We are coming to next slide. It's like if you see that we are defining F in F has a relation with G dot, and G is a Green's function of the theory, which is known to us. We are starting with, suppose for boundary current, we know what is the G for that theory in low energy limit. So using that, we will determine M square. How? Like it is like first one can see that the bulk field. So Y is here, like phi is the boundary field. So Y is we are interpreting as bulk field. Now the equation of motion of the bulk field and 1 by F satisfies some equation. Also, most importantly, the form of 1 by F is given by linear superposition of these Bessel functions, where nu square is m square plus d square by 4. Now I told that F is related to the Green's function. So from that you can find the nu. What is the nu in the low energy limit? So from that you can find m square, and that m square should match with whatever ADS-CFT correspondence predicts. And also, once you have ADS action, then correlators also can be calculated in standard. So these are the procedure one will do to get. Okay, so if there is no question, then next what we will do is we will derive gauge boson in ADS. So for that, that three-step procedure is always will come there. But before that, there is a problem that how to construct the action of a boundary current. So first we state the key points and result that boundary conserved current is expected to get mapped to gauge field in bulk. So to do this, first we have to do, there will be a concept of auxiliary field, which I will come in later part. We have to find the action of a boundary current using that concept, and we have to find ERG equation for the Wilson action of that auxiliary field.
Semanti,
Yes.
your voice suddenly breaks for few, a second or so sometimes. So it's not clear whether you're off the microphone or you're just make conscious effort and continue your talk. Yeah.
Okay, so is it better now?
Now it's fine. Always it's fine. Just for a second, sometimes you're off the microphone and then it continues. Yeah.
Maybe
Now you're
close
fine.
the video and try again. Maybe it might be just close the video for bandwidth.
Oh, okay. Video. Yeah.
I mean, close the video and then try again.
Yeah. Okay, now I think it will be better.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll state the key points and result. So one thing is the mapping to ADS procedure is same as pre-scalar case, except now there will be d number of scalars because there is d number of boundary currents, and there will be one extra field redefinition because of presence of space-time index. So specifically what we will derive is, which is done in Kabat et al. In paper of 2012, it's a scalar field equation or d number of scalar field equation with mass m square 1 by d, which is consistent with ADS-CFT. We will derive this equation. So from this equation, if someone does phi is equal to z a mu, one recovers source free Maxwell's equation. This is our aim. But for that, first we have to construct the action for boundary current. So first you will see that how to not deal with a current operator in order to map to ADS space. So what one can do is, in usual sense, is that a partition function we can parter with this star, where J mu is the bulk current and M mu is the source. Now as we flow to low energy, so usually in ERG the concept of composite operator is defined by linearized perturbation. Like you start with this bare action, you flow to low energy, integrate out or high energy modes, and then whatever is remaining, which is proportional to mu, that is your low energy version of the action of the composite of the operator, bare operator. But this is not very useful. This is not useful in calculating bare correlator, because if there is a single insertion, then correlator at S lambda is equal to correlator at S beta. But if there is double or more relation, these correlators are not equal. So other dots are fundamental fields. Okay, but we would like to get back original bare correlator in the boundary at any point of time. So we are starting with the CFT theory, which is at boundary, and we are always interested in the boundary correlator. So even though we are integrating out, going to effective action, integrating out high energy modes, but we will always like to find the boundary correlators. So that's why these quantities are not useful for our purpose. So for that, what we will do is we will introduce auxiliary variable. So it is well-known thing that people in large and expansion people do with this auxiliary field. So definition is it's a dynamical field, but there is no kinetic energy at free level. But if you go to lower energy field, lower energy action, there can be kinetic energy term. Okay, so Z mu is now written as, so sigma and chi is our auxiliary variable. So here, how we have done it is that the original action is same as that, and we have put a delta function. So chi is that variable coming from delta function, and sigma we have put at is equal to boundary current. So if we do that, then one can show Z mu is related to S sigma. You can see this is related to S sigma. This looks like a Fourier transform of A mu. That means it's somehow related to, you can either map A mu to the bulk or sigma mu to the bulk. Okay. It's somehow related to the standard or alternate quantization in ADS-CFT. And where S sigma mu is defined by this equation. So from this definition, if one find a correlator of sigma sigma, one can always find it is equal to the J mu. So J mu is the correlator, Bayer correlator, that is always equal to this Bayer correlator at Bayer theory. So that means we can always get, whenever we find the correlator of sigma sigma, we can always get back the boundary correlator.
Your voice is not heard
Correlators
now.
in the Bayer. Okay.
Yeah, now I can hear. It's
Okay.
probably you're shifting your microphones when you're speaking. In a few seconds we don't hear. Yeah, continue. We
Okay,
can't
please
hear
tell
you.
me when it is not.
Yeah, now we can hear you. Yeah, continue.
Okay. So so S sigma mu, e to the power A sigma mu. With that, we can always find correlators of sigma, from which is always equal to J mu of S Bayer action. But still, J mu is not correct definition of current all over the scale. So this is a current definition which is satisfies conservation laws in Bayer theory, not in low energy theories. So sigma mu should be chosen in such a way that it satisfies conservation law at all scales. So that's why we are going to set up to define the effective current. To do that, first we do is we define the external gauge field A mu to gauge the ON symmetry. So where these derivatives are defined in terms of external gauge field, and then define current in this with this definition. So here you can see that as we choose in this definition J mu, and if whenever you do n number of differentiation, you will get n correlators of J mu. So this gauge impedance of Z mu and this definition ensures that sigma mu satisfy conservation law all the time, means all the scale. So we take definition of auxiliary variable as this definition. So we know what is Z mu and we will apply this delta function. Okay, so so this is relation among Z mu. Okay. So now our next work will be that what will be the Polchinski equation for ON model. So we are considering ON model, although it is free, but there are a number of fields. So one thing is always conservation law of sigma mu is there, and J mu is gauge invariant. So we choose some gauge del mu n mu 0, and sigma mu is a variable of our choice. So all the variables we can choose as transverse. So we want to map. What we want to map, instead of A mu, we want to map sigma mu to the gauge field in the level of kinetic term. Okay, so for that purpose, we don't need A mu. So we can put A mu 0 and we can find ERG equation for S lambda sigma. So if someone can, okay, it can be shown that Polchinski equation for S lambda sigma mu is given by this, where phi L is there, phi h has been integrated up to scale lambda, and sigma mu is like an external field. Like if you see the definition of sigma mu, yeah, so this is like a it's like an external field with respect to chi. So if one okay, so there.
You have about 5 minutes. I hope you are.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So if we got this Polchinski equation, then we are done. But one thing is we will evaluate it with phi L is equal to 0 for simplicity, because we want a term like sigma mu dot sigma mu dot. We don't want anything with respect to phi L. So if we find this equation is e to the power a lambda quadratic terms in chi mu, and first order, then field with respect to chi mu. So we replace chi mu with respect to as a delta of delta sigma. So we get the ERG equation in momentum space as this. So this is our ERG equation of S lambda sigma mu. Yeah, and these variables are also in terms of sigma mu. So this form of I mu is not, while mapping to kinetic energy, it is not important. It is related to vacuum polarization diagrams of QAT. But that will come only when you try to calculate correlation function. So the leading order solution is given by this. And most importantly, what we want is holographic ERG equation for boundary current is given by this equation. So now F square is kind of, okay, so this is our radial evolution action. And we will work with this action. We will show that by mapping, you can map it to the gauge field. So this is our starting point. This is the equation. And here now it is F square is little bit complicated than previous scalar case. But we do the same three-step procedure and we get equation like this, which is free scalar equation. But now number of scalar is D. And we have to determine the mass. So from the constant 1 by F, we have told it's a linear superposition of Bessel functions. But again, if we know this theories of boundary current, we know what will be the G. So we can determine the nu, and from there it can be shown m square is 1 by D. So this is our scalar. So if you find the equation of motion, this is our scalar equation of equation of scalar field with m square is equal to 1 by D. And if you do the another field redefinition, as I mentioned before, z of z into one new field, then you will get back a source free Maxwell's equation. So this all I have to say about the topic. Then I just want to make a comment on bulk graviton. The same method applies for mapping of conserved EM tensor to gauge fixed bulk graviton action. So for that, what happens is in boundary, one use conservation and tracelessness of EM tensor, and in bulk, AZM is 0, and diffeomorphism invariance and tracelessness of gravity. So with these things, one can see that one is expected to get a graviton equation from in the bulk. So here also one can define an auxiliary variable sigma mu, and in the same way, they can map the radial action to equation of scalar fields. There each of them will have mass 0. Okay, so on that note, so this is end of my talk. So I can say whatever work can be done after this is immediate work is to extend to interactions in case of graviton and gauge field. So equivalent work has been done for scalar composite operator phi square in phi-4 theory ON model. By Bala Satyapalan in 2020, where in next where it has been shown that Polchinski equation have some next order terms also, which will have a form of cubic potential term, and that we can map it to ADS space, and we can show that gives expected correlators according to ADS safety. So after we do maybe this same analysis for boundary current and EM tensor, one can try to make connection of the above results with Vasilev's theory. And it is also interesting to see how bulk locality arises, because whatever formalism we are doing everything from the boundary. There is everything from the boundary. We are doing ERG from the boundary, and but we are getting an action, but we don't know whether that action will have locality or it will be a really bulk dual, whatever ADS-CFT predicts. So that is an interesting question. So these are the questions we will visit in future soon. Okay. Okay. On that note, I'll end my talk. Thank you. Question, comments.
Thank you, Semanti. I think we are running late. Maybe we'll take one or two quick questions and then I'll hand over to Arnab Kundu has a question.
Hi, I have a very
Yes.
quick question, and I missed the first few minutes of the talk, so maybe I'm confused about the notation. So my question was the ERG equations that you wrote. You had on the left hand side you had a derivative, right? The first order derivative. This T was exactly what? Was it log of energy scale?
T was log of lambda.
Log of lambda, and on the right hand side you had this capital lambda, which is the cutoff, right? So in this formalism, is there a natural way to say how low can lambda be?
No, it it can go up to 0. Lambda can go up to 0.
Okay.
So,
okay.
but if you go to lambda tends to 0, there will be higher divergences. So that did it mean that
divergence has a particular
in the
behavior
bulk
with
theory,
lambda?
like if you go to lambda tends to 0, and if you map to ADS bulk action, then there will be higher divergences. Which appear in usual ADS case also.
Okay, and that goes with the power of lambda?
Okay, we haven't studied that thing, so
okay.
I cannot tell.
Okay, thanks.
Gautam?
Yeah, hi Semanti, thanks for the nice talk. I just have a general question, and the specific questions I can take later on offline. Okay. So the general question is that you said that you were doing this without using ADS-CFT.
Yes.
But what? So this particular point, aren't you using something like GKPW at any stage, or the relation between the cutoff field theory and the ADS theory with some particular radial cutoff? Even that is not used? I mean, what is meant by not
we are just
ADS-CFT?
No, we are just using the ERG equation, and thus this is, you can see, this is just Polchinski equation, and then you are just essentially what we want is the evolution operator. That's all we are using, and this is a functional integral result. And
I can see the. I mean, I didn't completely follow the formalism, but I'm saying that aren't you making an identification between the ADS radial cutoff and the field theory cutoff at any stage?
So ADS radial cutoff means if you tell Z is sort of 1 by lambda here, maybe in that sense you can tell that lambda is low energy, that scale in the boundary, and
so that is one of the essential inputs from ADS-CFT. I mean, that if you look at the papers of
it is motivated by ADS-CFT, but these all things are mathematical. You can make this change of scale. So you are not using. We are motivated by ADS-CFT, but we are not using any input from there.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay, thank you. We can continue the discussion later on. I mean, I'm interested in